Due to lockdown, our Aam Aadmi Shini is so upset that he wants to go on a stress buster vacation. And where else but to the northeastern states of India. There he will be met by the tour manager of each and every northeastern states. So let this story begin and let's start the camera rolling. Camera, action, and here we go.
Poor Srinivasan went in search of many travel agencies for the good package. At last, he found a best travel agency in the market, Stick Travels, where he got the suggestion to travel to Northeast India.
Hello, sir. We are offering on best Northeast domestic package. Given this package, passport and visas not required. Thank you for choosing Stick Travels Private Limited.
Payment received. Thanks for choosing Stick Travels. Wish you a happy journey. Thank you.
Srini, here's your itinerary. Have a safe and happy journey.
Thank you so much, guys. No handshake because social distancing is required. Thanks, Batma. Thanks, Venkat. Thanks, Sadik. Gopi, amazing green tea, Gopi. Thank you so much. Nice office. Fantastic, guys. See you soon. Bye.
Srini begins his journey from Chennai to Guwahati.
Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. I've come to Northeast finally. Now I'm free from COVID-19. No wife, no family. Just enjoy.
Namaskar. Hello, Mr. Sini. Welcome to Guwahati, Assam. I'm your guide. My name is Khaled Khan.
Hey, Khaled, come. Just waiting to see you, man. You have to make sure I'm gonna enjoy in Assam. Next 21 days in Northeast. This is my first trip, first state in Northeast. You have to make sure I enjoy. Please, okay?
I'm going to take you. Show you around Assam. They're going to show you their, what are places you're going to visit in Assam, food, their culture, the entertainment, and how to travel connects to other districts of Assam. You're coming from Chennai, right? To Assam. Hope you didn't find any trouble reaching from Chennai. Next time when you come, we can come via. You have from Delhi, you have Bombay. You can connect. You can connect from Bangalore and Hyderabad. Domestic airlines connecting from Chennai to Guwahati, and they're taking taking in and out from Guwahati airport. And it has ranked 11th in terms of passenger traffic. By road, NH27 connects to various parts of various Assam and the states of Arunachal Pradesh and Nagaland. I'm going to give you a small brief about Assam, what we are going to do. Assam is a state, as you know, it's a northern part of India. It's famous for its wildlife, archaeological sites, tea plantations, and Guwahati is the largest city in Assam, which has focusing on Silk Bazaar and the hilltop mountains, valleys and temples like Umananda Temple. They have sits on Peacock Island. It's a Brahmaputra river. It's a whole Assam lies on the banks of Brahmaputra river. Then it has 33 districts. The capital is Dispur. Dispur it's a suburban part of Guwahati, which is 8 kilometers away from Guwahati. The total area is 24,000 square kilometer, which is quite a big in terms of the area landscape. As the official language they speak here is Assamese, Bengali, and Bodo. Here, Assam it's bordered by different other states of northeast part of India, and some countries border shared with. For example, Bhutan, Arunachal Pradesh to the north side they've bordered. Then Nagaland, Manipur to the east, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram to the Mizoram, Bangladesh to the south, and as West Bengal it's to the west side. like Assam is famous for their Assamese silk, similar to you have a place in Tamil Nadu, which is Kanjipuram, is famous for silk. Same as you have in Assam silk here. You have tea leaves, different kind of tea leaves. You can able to taste it here. You can find the tea plantation, tea farming, and tea estates are there. And they have handicrafts, pickles, food. It's like almost a famous spot. I'm going to. I'll tell you the places where we are going to. World famous Kaziranga National Park. It's like famous for one-horn rhinos. It's like it's one of the World Heritage Site declared. Then Majuli, it's a bank river. It's green and it's famous for its green valley and rivers, pollution-free fresh water. No, it's just 20 kilometers away from the city of Jorat. Jorat is it's also a district in Assam. Then between Guwahati, as told you, it's a largest city in Assam. To enjoy the holidays here, known for its tourist spot. Guwahati also serves an important best time to spend the holidays. Then we have Hajo. Hajo, as I told you, Hajo is a pilgrimage for the predominant religions. So it is for Buddhist. The one is for Hinduism and for Islam. It's like to then we have Shiv Sagar. Shiv Sagar. Shiv Sagar is nothing but it's you have culture town for historic tourist attraction. Then you have Silchar. Silchar again, it's a river bank valley and known for its scenic beauty. Then we have Jorat. I told you before, it's a part of. It's also you can find cultures, mosque there. You have Tom's Gardens. Like it's a Jorat also known as capital of. It's known as the tea capital of India. Gawalpara for cultivation plantation landscapes there. Then Manas National Park, you can find many wild cats there, like tigers. You can find langurs. You can golden langurs. You can find red panda over there. And elephant reserves also it's there. Then Dibrugarh is like it's a city in the northeastern region. It lies between Guwahati and Bhubaneswar. Then you have Tinsukai. It's quite popular with the tourists for the serves gateway to the nearby beautiful villages and wildlife sanctuaries. Then we have Dispur as a capital. Then we have Dibru Shikhavu National Park, which is a river island. It's one of the like hotspot. Then national park is situated in the Tinsukai in Assam. Then we have Nameri National Park. Then we have Salkuchi, Orang National Park. Then we have Bangaigaon, Barpeta, Hilakandi. Then we have Nalbari. So we have these are the places I'm going to take you around Assam. Then we have Umananda Temple. It's a small river island temple, which where you can find it's on the Brahmaputra river. Where you can find on the banks like on the river ashore, and you can wildlife also you can find there. This is some places we are going to take. Next is regarding food. What kind of food you eat, Mr. Shini? Veg or non-veg? I think so. Non-veg you eat mostly, right? Yeah. Here you can find a lot of delicacy of food. You can find varieties of delicacy. You can find it here. In terms of non-veg, here you can like khar made of some chicken with vegetables. They make it here. It's a curry they eat normally in the lunch time. Then you have Masoor Tenga. Masoor Tenga, it's nothing but it's a tangy taste of fish. They make awesome. It's a delicacy. And you have duck meat curry. Duck meat curry, it's in the famous delicacy in the festival time. Then Aru Bhaji they'll make Okhatta. Okhatta is made up of elephant apple with jaggery. They make it's a type of chutney they make here. Aloo pitika is like smashed potato with spice. They do it, and the Paro Mangsho is one of the it's a popular food items dish in the company. They take it pigeon meat made up of pigeon meat. which keeps the body warm in winter. They cook in the festival time. They cook on occasions and seasons. They make it here. Then we have bamboo shoots. Since you can find a lot of bamboo trees here, bamboo shoot they make as a vegetable, and along with the chicken they make it here. And then we have exotic food. Since you have silk, Assam is famous for. You have they make with the silkworm. Like the stir fried with the spices they make it here. Then some snacks with savories and sweets with steamed or fried they make it here called pita. Then payas, like you in Tamil Nadu you have payasam here they make it a payas like a rice payas. They have the laddus, kheer they make it. A lot of delicacies you can find it here in Assam. Festivals. Here you have a lot of vibrant and colorful festivals celebrated throughout the year. One is Bihu Festival, famous for the Festival of Assam. Famous Festival of Assam. We have Ambubachi Festival, Majuli Festival, Tea Festival. Tea Festival, you can varieties of tea you can find it here. You can able to taste teas like different kind of teas you can taste, and you can visit the tea plantations, tea factories. You can visit them. Surely you can if you're supposed to start with the tea business. You can able to start the business of tea. Yeah, then you have Lasila in Manjuli, Karam Puja, then you have Baishago Festival. So these are some festivals celebrated month of Jan, Feb, then you have July, September. Throughout the year they make it. Then culture, it's like located as an Eastern Himalayas, one of the seven sister states, known for its rich culture and diverse population. Culture of Assam, it's a fusion of Indo-Burmese, Mongolian, Aryan influence. Yeah, tradition dresses, they have dhoti and gamosa they wear. Then Makela Chadar, it's a traditional, normally they wear in the festival time they wear. Folk music, rich in folk music. Assam is rich in folk music. Then for entertainment, Assam is the most happening state in the entire northeast part. State is full of with full of like some what do you say? There's some best cinema halls here. You have international hotel chains. You can find it here. Restaurant, nightclubs. You have pubs you can find. Then you can find discos. Entire northeast part. Assam is the most happening place. You can find lot of places to hang out there and can go out for nightlife. People of Assam have a lot of options to spend their time in entertaining themselves. Then major occupation is agriculture and Assam and cultivation. As you know, it's a tea plantation. It's one of the main occupation in Assam. Then have pulses, tea, jute, fruit cultivation also there. Thank you. This is a small gist I'm going to explain about it. I'll take you and show you in and around of Assam. I'll meet you again on that. Thank you, Mr. Srini. Hope you liked Assam. Hope you like come again to visit Assam again. Thank you.
After completing Assam trip, now Srini is proceeding towards Meghalaya.
Hi Srini, how are you? My name is Sam. I'll be your tour handler in Meghalaya.
Hey Sam, good to see you. We spoke over the phone. I've just come from Assam. Amazing. I just enjoyed Kaziranga National Park. Now I'm in Meghalaya. You have to take me one of the best places here. Sam, over to you. Thank you.
I will brief you about Meghalaya's attractions, nature, and its festivals. Meghalaya is the hilly station in northeast India. The name Meghalaya comes from Sanskrit word.
Above the clouds.
Its capital is Shillong. The state is bounded by Assam in the north, Bangladesh in the south. During the British rule, it is nicknamed as Scotland of the East. Meghalaya is mountainous with a stretch of valleys and highland plateaus. Its geology is rich in minerals such as coal, limestone, and uranium. Meghalaya is known for its rich nature and festival. Majority of the population is tribal groups. Meghalaya offers various adventurous sports such as mountaineering, trekking, hiking, caving, rock climbing, and water sports. In terms of natural locations in Meghalaya or Uriam Lake. Uriam Lake is best for water sports activities. The complex provides various activities for water scooter, speedboats, and cruise boats. Next, about a favorite place in India, Cherrapunji. Cherrapunji is one of the popular tourist attraction in India with the average rainfall of 1200 centimeters. It is named as the wettest place on earth and holds the record for most rain in calendar month. Second one is living root bridges. Meghalaya is famous for its living root bridges, a kind of suspension bridge made over rivers using intertwined roots of elastica tree planted both sides of the banks and the rivers and hill slopes. These bridges can be found near Cherrapunji. Meghalaya is rich in waterfalls. There are many waterfalls and lakes in and around of Meghalaya locations. One falls to be specific, it's Nokhali Khai waterfalls, which is multiple drop waterfalls. One of the tallest plunge type of waterfalls in India. Not only that, there are many waterfalls such as Elephant Falls, Karangzuri Falls, Langshiang Falls, Sweet Falls, Viini Falls. Meghalaya has natural cave system. Meghalaya has estimated around 500 natural limestone caves. It has the most longest as well as the deepest cave in Indian subcontinent. Keram Liat Par is the longest cave and Sinrang Pemiang is the deepest cave. Both are located in Jaintia Hills. Caves from United Kingdom, Germany, Austria, Ireland, United States have been visiting this Meghalaya for over a decade to explore these caves. In the terms of lakes, Meghalaya also has many natural and man-made lakes. The lake Umiam Lake on the Guwahati-Shillong road is a major tourist attraction for tourists. Meghalaya has several parks, Tarankar Park, the Eco Park, the Botanical Garden, the Redi Haidari Park, to name a few. Dawaki, which is located at 96 kilometers from Shillong, is the gateway to Bangladesh and affords a scenic view of some of the tallest mountain ranges in Meghalaya and Bangladesh borderlands. Palpakram Natural Park, with its pristine habitat and scenery, is a major attraction. The Nokrak National Park, also in Garo Hills, has its own charm with a lot of wildlife. Then about festivals. There are 4 major festivals celebrated in Meghalaya, such as Kashi, Jaintia, Garas, and Hanjons. About Kashi festival, dance is central to the culture of Kashi life and part of the rites of passage. And next about Jaintia's festival. Jaintia celebrates nature, balance, and solidarity among its peoples. Festival of Jaintias includes Lahore dance, sowing ritual ceremony. Then about Garos. For Garos, festival sustains their cultural heritage. They were often dedicated to religious events, nature and season, as well as community events. Hajons. Hajons festival follows the Hindu rites and customs. Every Hajon family has a temple for worship called as Dioga, and they offer prayers in the morning and evening. Okay, Srini, on a glimpse, I have given you a small brief about Meghalaya. Thank you for visiting Meghalaya.
Our Srini heads to Tirupura.
Hi, sir. Welcome to Land State of Tripura. Myself, Shanti Bhaumik, and I will be serving as your guide.
Hey Shanti, good to see you. Finally, I'm meeting a woman tour guide. Amazing. This is all about India. You know why I'm fully wet? Because I come from Meghalaya, Cherrapunji, the highest rainfall in the world. From highest rainfall in the world, I have come to the land of palaces, place of heritage. Shanti, you have to tell me how to explore Tirupura.
Hope the journey was fine. So let me first brief you on Tripura. While on the way you must be noticed, the place is predominantly being a hilly region. Tripura, the state which is surrounded by both country and Indian states, which are Bangladesh in the north, south and west, and to the east is covered by Indian state of Assam and Mizoram. As you are in Agartala, you must be knowing it is our state capital. The state has 5 anti-kilometer range of hill, which is in arc shape. It runs north to south and the physiography is characterized by hill range, villages and plains. Tripura is having 8 districts and language spoken here are Kokborok, Bengali and English. Here the religion predominantly are Hinduism, followed by Islam, Christianity and Buddhism. Tripura cuisine comprises majority of special bamboo food items are most common here and the rice and fish items are added in it. And you can find major hotels like Ginger Atala, Hotel City Center and many budget hotels. I think you must be tired by sitting in car for 12.5 hours as it is 450 km from Shillong to Agartala. Also, it is well connected by NH44 where it extends to Guwahati. Here, both luxury coaches, private and public sectors and tourist cabs play on the roads. And of course, Tripura is connected by Air 2. Agartala Domestic Airport is located 12 km northwest and it takes about 20 minutes to reach town. From here, the flights connect to Kolkata, Delhi, Chennai, Guwahati, Bangalore, Imphal and Aswad. Agartala 2 is connected by train with important junctions like Guwahati, NJP, Delhi, and the station is like 5.9 kilometers and around 15 minutes from the city. The major 4 attractions here includes Ujjayanta Palace. It is a gleaming white palace located in the heart of the city capital. The palace was built by Maharaja Radhakishore Manikya in 1901 AD. It is in Indo-Saracenic building and set with a Mughal style garden. Today, the Royal Mansion houses the State Museum. Next is Mughal Water Palace. The Royal Mansion is located in the middle of Rojna Clinic, which is 53 km of Agartala. It was built by Maharaja Bir Bikram Kishore Manikya in 1930 AD. Next is Sabahijal Wildlife Sanctuary. It is truly the biodiversity haven here. With an area of 18.53 km, the sanctuary houses different species of leopard, jungle fowl, barking deer, and several other wild animals. Birds and trees also include here. In addition, we are having boat ride and toy train facilities. And next is Tripura Sundari Temple. Coming to religion, the Tripura Sundari Temple is one of the most important attractions here. It is located in the hilltop and it is 5 km from main town Udaipur. The major activities that you can go on with here are: first one is boat riding at Nir Mahal, where the timing starts from 8 am to 4 pm, and it is closed on Fridays. And next is one can go enjoy fresh orange juices. If you need to witness the Grand Orange Festival, then you should visit in the month of September to December. And one coming with the kids, there is amusement park, and which is close to Agartala. Thank you and have a nice time in Tripura.
Now Srini's next visit is to Mizoram.
Hello sir, myself Manzoor. Hope you enjoyed your flight journey from Agartala to Aizawl through Indigo. And I think it's an one-off flight, and also you have enjoyed your trip to Tripura as well. So welcome to land of the Mizos, and I am your tour operator. I'll be taking you to explore the beauties of Mizoram.
Assalamu alaikum, Manzoor bhai. Wow, I am in the land of Mizos. I have just come from hilly region of Tirupura. I'm just waiting to explore Mizoram, one of the northeastern greatest states. Over to you, Manzoor bhai. Please tell me what is the plans.
May I know which hotel have you booked it? Great. Hotel Floria. Hotel Floria, it's 32 kilometers away from the airport, and it is one of the best hotels in Aizawl. Hotel Floria offers panoramic views of the city, the picturesque landscape of the hills surrounding the city, and is only a few minutes walking distance from the city's market, top local attractions, local food, etc. Let me brief on Mizoram. Mizoram is a state in northeastern India with Aizawl as its capital city. The name is derived from Mizo, the name of the native inhabitants, and Ram, which means land, and thus Mizoram means land of the Mizos. Within the northeast region, it is the southernmost landlocked state, sharing borders with the three of the seven sisters, namely Tripura, Assam, and Manipur. The state also shares a 722-kilometer border with the neighboring countries of Bangladesh and Myanmar. The best months to visit Mizoram are October to March, because these months are ideal as the weather is pleasant and touring around can be fun. The temperature during these months varies from 11 degrees centigrade to 30 degrees centigrade. A beautiful city, Aizawl, the capital of Mizoram, is situated at about 1132 meters above sea level. Let us see the tourist attractions. The first tourist attractions are Dirtlang Hills. Dirtlang Hills providing a panoramic view of the hill station. The Dirtlang Hills are famous for the breathtaking views they provide whilst on the rocky trail. It is 5 kilometers away from 5 kilometers away from Aizawl. Then next come Dampa Tiger Reserve. The largest wildlife sanctuary in Mizoram has been declared as a tiger reserve in 1994, located in the western part of Mizoram. Next come Lungli, best place to relax and wind. It is 170 kilometers away from Aizawl. Then next come Mamit. Mamit is a heaven for wildlife enthusiasts. It is 95 kilometers away from Aizawl. And next come Kolasib. Kolasib rivers. It is a riverside vacation. You can view crystal clear waters of river Talang and Tamdil Lake. It is 78 kilometers away from Aizawl. Then next come Reek. Reek is bask in the sunlight. You can experience the lovely village life basking in the sun amidst the lush green fields of Reek. It is 30 kilometers away from Aizawl. Vantong Waterfalls. Vantong Waterfalls is 13th highest waterfall in the country and one of the major tourist attractions. It is 92 kilometers away from Aizawl. Then next come Falkawan village. In Falkawan village, you can experience the clear picture of Mizo tribe and their lifestyle. It is 17 kilometers away from Aizawl. Then next come Tamdil Lake. It is also the crystal clear lake surrounded by the dense jungle will delight you at a very moment you go to Tamdil Lake, and it is 90 kilometers away from Aizawl. Then next come Sership. Sership is a colorful rural experience. You can it is 92 kilometers away from Aizawl. Then next come Champai. Champai, it's a adventure hub. Champai is one of the most amazing Mizoram destination that out to make it on your bucket list. Known for its picturized surrounding and rich culture. Champai will fulfill with you a interesting experience, myriad of interesting experience, and it is 190 kilometers away from Aizawl. Then next comes Saiha. Saiha, the elephant's tooth, a fast-growing district. Saiha is one of the best places to visit in Mizoram. If you love fishing and angling, then you are going to love this place. It is one of the 8 districts in Mizoram and is located in the southernmost part of the state, and it is 302 kilometers away from Aizawl. Then last come Murlang National Park. Murlang National Park, India's Amazon. Murlang National Park is heaven for nature lovers, home to variety of flora and fauna. One can spot 150 species of birds and animals, bamboos and orchid species, etc. It is 235 kilometers away from Aizawl, and this will be your plan for this time to Mizoram. Thank you. Thank you and have a nice time in Mizoram.
After meeting Mizo, he is now heading to Manipur.
Lengsi Biraxi, Mr. Srinivasan, welcome. I hope you had a nice flight from Highswall to reach Imphal. Hi, I'm Yangba from Classic Grand Hotel at Imphal.
Hey Amba, how are you? I am in the Classic Hotel. Good property. Good rooms. From land of Mesos to Manipur. Yamba, please take over and tell me what are the plans in Manipur.
I'm glad to welcome you to a jewel land, Manipur, on the foothills of eastern Himalayas and bordered by Myanmar, and also a gateway to Southeast Asia. I hope you have chosen Manipur for a rejuvenating experience, tired of chaotic city life. The state has a number of picturesque valleys and hills, and you know Mary Kom, our Olympic medalist for India, was born here. Also, you must be amazed to see no beggars and slums at Manipur. Now you can take rest, and in the evening, we will take you to the Govindaji temple to see beautifully dressed Ras Leela dance, a classical Manipuri dance depicting the love of Lord Krishna and Radhe. And tomorrow, we will visit Kangla Fort, a 1544 BC fort, and take you by car around 50 kilometers from Imphal to Loktak Lake, a only floating park in the world, which has circular fishing farms, and enjoy a boat ride for Rs 700 per person and have a stay with the huts on the lake which are floating and can be a one-time life experience. And adding to that, there is also a Kabul Labjun National Park, and to have a glimpse of Sangai deers and other wild animals, you can view it from 2 towers and the 2 guest rooms maintained by Forest Department. And then on day 3, we will travel early in the morning of around 160 kilometers to reach Tamlong, a district of Manipur, for adventure activities like rafting, paragliding, parasailing, rock climbing, camping, mountain biking, and a hot air balloon ride. And all these activities are organized by Manipur Mountaineering and Trekking Association. Sailat Lake, Barak Waterfalls, Tarun Cave, Bunning Meadow are some places for adventure trekkings. Barak Waterfalls are formed by 7 waterfalls. That's an amazing view. Tarun Cave is also an archaeological importance, and you can see Vietnamese things which was used thousands of years ago in that cave, and there is also a cave painting on the outside of that cave. And Bunning Meadow is an adventure trekking which will be for the month of March to June, and Tarun Cave is you can enjoy in the month of January to March. Rafting season is from August to October, and hot air balloon ride is from November to March, and all these are organized by Manipur Mountaineering and Trekking Association, which is around 1.5 kilometers from the Imphal city. 90% of the green hills is in Tamlong, and if you have time, you can explore different tribal villages and their cuisines. Sangai festival organized by Manipuri government every year to showcase different tribal cultures, dances, and their music festivals from 21st November to 29th November, which is held on every year. And on the last day, you can visit to Ima Market at Imphal, which is around 3000 stalls market exclusively run by the Women for Women, which is for women entrepreneurship, and whereas you can buy handlooms, Manipur handicrafts, fresh fruits and vegetables, etc. And uniquely, you can see every household in Manipur as a kitchen garden, so that they are immunely well. And also, this is a corona-free state as of now, which has got recovered from corona very easily and not much affected, because this is due to their habits of natural consumption and good being with the nature. Srinivasan, you have visited during the right time, around September to April, to our state, because this is the right time to visit Manipur, where you can see the scenic beauty of Manipur. As I told you, 90% of green hills is in Tamlong, and if you have time, you can explore different tribal villages and their cuisines. Sangai festival, as I told you, it's conducted by Manipuri government every year to showcase different tribal cultures, dances, and their music festivals from 21st November to 29th November. Hope you had your mind refreshed with 3 days stay at Manipur and got a feel that you are in a different country with indigenous tribal cultures and spicy cuisines. Thank you for visiting Manipur.
After a wonderful experience in Manipur, Srini is very much excited to witness the Hornbill Festival in Nagaland.
Hello Srini, my name is Joseph. I'll be your tour manager in Nagaland.
Hey Joseph, good man, good to see you. Come. Alright, come. I've just come from Manipur, futuristic place, beautiful. I just enjoyed Ladakh Lake from Manipur. Too good. I'm tired too much of surface transfer. Please take me to a hotel and take a rest and tell me what you plan today. Please.
Hope you had a comfortable journey from Manipur to Kohima. Today I will explain you about the richness of Nagaland, nature and heritage. As you know, Nagaland is one of the 7 northeast. Its capital is Kohima and the largest city is Dimapur. It is well connected with the rest of India by 3 modes of transportation, by road, rail and air. Dimapur Airport has direct flights to Guwahati and Kolkata. Dimapur Rail is connected to Guwahati. Roadways are connected to Meghalaya, Manipur as well as Assam. For comfortable stay, you can choose Four Seasons or Adelaide Retreat as your best choice. Let me explain you about the major attractions in Nagaland, such as heritage, romantic sightseeing, wildlife sanctuaries, adventures and festival. First, let's look about heritage sites. Kohima War Cemetery, located in Garrison Hills, is dedicated to 10,000 Allied soldiers who fought in World War II for India. And about the Kohima Museum, entry to the museum is free of cost on Thursdays, and on other days small charges may apply. This museum provides a glimpse of diverse tribal habitat and culture. It is the home to rarest artifacts which belongs to different tribes. About Naga Heritage Village, it is the best place to get an overview about ethnic groups of Nagaland. The Heritage Village protects and preserves all ethnic cultures of different heritage tribes. It is 10 kilometers drive from Kohima city. About romantic sightseeings, there is Jakfu Peak. Zukhau Valley is the second highest peak of Nagaland, standing at the height of 3048 meters above sea level. Zukhau Valley is known for its biodiversity, many varieties of flowers found along the passing valley. Shiloi Lake. It is a natural lake in the valley surrounded with pine forest, also an ideal place for adventure and trekking, and it is 70 kilometers away from Kohima. Langpangkong Caves. Situated between the valley of Diku and Tula on Langpangkong mountain range, it is believed to that the cave provided shelter for Ahom kings. It is 200 kilometers away from Dimapur. About ruins of Kachari civilization, it is located in Dimapur district. It is once the capital of ancient Kachari civilization. It has got a lot of mysterious ruins from Kachari civilization. Not only that, there is also a market which is close to these ruins, which provides insightful look of Nagaland people. About wildlife sanctuary and zoos. There are 3 major sanctuaries located in Nagaland, such as Intanki Wildlife Sanctuary, Fakim Wildlife Sanctuary, and Gaozu Bird Life Sanctuary. This sanctuary is home to various rare species of wild animals such as baboons, tigers, sloths, tuskers, samba deers, and various species of birds. In terms of adventures, trekking is the major activity happening in Nagaland. It is the paradise for truckers. The adventure land of Nagaland offers trekking opportunities in Duksu Valley, Mountain Tihi, Satoi ranges are the major locations for trekking. Festivals. There are different types of festivals takes place throughout the year in Nagaland, especially in Naga Heritage Village. Hornbill Festival, Matsu Festival, Tesangram Mong Festival, Nazu Festival, Karangi Festival, Bashu Festival, Nayakong Festival. There are many festivals happens in Naga Heritage Village. The main thing is about cuisines. The Naga cuisines of Naga people features meat and fish, which are often smoked, fried, fermented, such as dal and egg, Nagaland fish stew, bamboo shoot fry. So, hope you had an idea about what is Nagaland and how the heritage, nature locations, and its people's culture and its cuisines. So, these areas we will cover in the next 3 to 4 days on your stay in Nagaland. Thank you.
Now, our Srini is going to enjoy a beautiful drive towards Arunachal Pradesh.
Assalamu alaikum, Srini. Welcome to Itanagar, Arunachal Pradesh. I'm your guide, Najam Khan. How are you? How's your travel? Hope you didn't find any difficulty to reach from Nagaland to Arunachal Pradesh.
Hi, welcome. Tired man, too much traveling, but I'm enjoying. Amazing Nagaland. Now I've come to Arunachal Pradesh, next Sikkim. That's it. Fantastic experience. Please quickly tell me what is the plan. I need to enjoy it as soon as possible. Okay? I am ready. I'm just waiting for you. Please go ahead.
Have you taken ILP permit? That is like inner line permit. The outsiders of Arunachal Pradesh need to take ILP before you visit this state. Okay, if not, you can get it done by 24 hours online. You can get it done. Next time when you come, directly from Chennai, you can come via Kolkata to Guwahati to Pasighat Airport, which is like airport in Arunachal Pradesh. It already commenced in 2018 under Udan scheme. By road, Arunachal Pradesh Transport Corporation has their own bus service from Itanagar. It goes to various districts of Assam as well as Arunachal Pradesh. You can visit there. NH15 connects both in Assam and as well as Arunachal Pradesh and Nagaland as well. Rail service, it's already inaugurated in the year of 2015 from Delhi capital to Nara Lagoon, which is like direct train service they have started. And Harmuti train also from Assam, 43 kilometers away from state of Itanagar, capital Itanagar. It's can travel from there's one more train which connects to the other part of this state. I'll give you small, I'm going to take you in and around of Arunachal Pradesh, just to explain the food they eat, about the place, how to travel, as I told you before, to other statistics, what are places we're going to visit, their culture, the entertainment, I'll tell you everything about Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh, I can give you a brief about that. It's a downlit mountain. It's like full of high hill areas and valleys. And Itanagar is the state capital. It's a northern eastern. It's a northern eastern part of state of northern state of Itanagar. It has 25 districts and Itanagar is the capital, I told you already before. Total area is 83,700 square feet fully. Official language they speak here, English is official language, but among with Hindi they speak Bengali, Assamese, Nepali, many language they speak here. And Arunachal Pradesh, it's bordered by different states and different countries as well. For example, they have dispute border with China on the north side, Myanmar on the east, Assam and Nagaland to the south, and Bhutan to the west. So it bordered with many other many states and countries together. and climate of Arunachal Pradesh varies the hill areas elevation. If you have a high elevation, the high elevation of the climate is very hot and very humid, and it's a low elevation. It has subtropical climate, so it varies on the elevation side. And here Arunachal Pradesh, Christianity is playing a major role. Many people of Christians you can find it here, followed by Hinduism, Buddhist, you can Islam, Sikh and Jain. There's a variety, diversified religion culture here. And regarding food, the delicacy, you can find it here, a lot of delicacies. And rice is a main, rice is staple of food of Arunachal Pradesh. You can use it everywhere. Made up of hollow bamboo, so it's a very much delicate food here. Who want to visit, taste is really very awesome. And then you have bamboo shoot. Because since bamboo it grows a lot here, so you can bamboo shoot you can make as a vegetable here. Then we have pika pila. It's a type of chutney they make. Awesome chutney. Then we have luktar. It's a dried meat with a chili they make. It's awesome food you can taste. Then we have pehek. Pehek is a type of chutney normally they make. And then another one is opong. Opong, it's I hope you drink beer, right? It's a rice beer. It's a homemade here. They're making the rice beer. It's a traditional drink of Andhra Pradesh. They eat when the festivals are coming. It's a very little light beer instead of a strong one. Then maruwa. Then we have vegetable with the charu sabji, vegetable with broth type. Then momos here, and meat. Obviously, it's beef meat. You can get it anywhere in Arunachal Pradesh. So these are some delicacies of Arunachal Pradesh. Then we have places to visit. Yeah, places you have Namfada National Park. You can find wild animals. Then you have Dibang Valley. Then you have Tale Valley. Then you have Hindu Temple, Makwa Valley. A lot of valleys you can find it here because it's a hilly areas. I'll show you one by one. When we visit across Arunachal Pradesh, Pasighat, it's a capital. I told you it's a beautiful town. You can and wildlife sanctuary. It's for migrated birds you can see here. Then Sangti, Chalang, Pamla Pass, lot of hilly areas and valleys you can find it here. That I'll show you one by one. Before sure you will like Arunachal a lot. Then we have vibrant here festivals. They celebrate like anything. We have lot of festivals throughout the year they celebrate. One is Losa Festival, Ray Festival. Then you have Chokra Festival, Mopin Festival. Yeah, it's a lot of festivals based on their caste creed. They don't see that they celebrate with all types of religion. They celebrate like that. The Khan Festival, lot of festivals they celebrate here. After culture is the main truly varied from their sense of that state. They have 26 major tribes here who can celebrate, including some tribes where the unique taste of celebrating the tradition here. Some tribes are Adi, Galo, Aka. So these type of some Naishi, Tingshi, Bori. So these types of some tribes are here where they can find true tradition of Arunachal Pradesh. Entertainment is not like Assam. Assam is a happening place in whole northeastern side of India. Here, since you have huge valleys, huge hilly areas here, so you can find adventure type of sports. You can find it like mountaineering, angling, trekking, river rafting. While in rivers, you can find rafting here. Naturally, beautiful places places you can have gushing rivers, hills. Provide lot avenues of variety of adventures sports. You can find it here trekking, angling among others. Lot of adventure sports are you can see here. You can experience adventure sports here. Not like Assam. So this is small gist of
Arunachal Pradesh I have given you. Further, I can explain you one by one when you visit Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Srini. Thank you for visiting Arunachal Pradesh. Hope you will come back again. Thank you.
I know you all are curiously waiting to know where he is heading to. It's none other than Sikkim.
Hello, sir. Welcome to Sikkim, the traveler's paradise and brother of seven sisters. Myself, Trilochan, Pokal, and I'll be your tour guide.
Hey Trilochan, now you have to tell me what are the plans, because I just enjoyed, because I'm coming from Arunachal Pradesh. I have seen Tawang Monastery, second largest in the world, the Zior Valley, beautiful forest. Now you have to tell me what is my plan in Sikkim. Trilochan, please take care. I need your help. Thank you. Please go.
So, you have visited all the seven sisters, and finally you are in the brother of the seven sisters, the Sikkim. So, hope your journey was fine. Let me first brief you on Sikkim. So, Gangtok being the capital, and Sikkim is one of the states which border by 3 countries and 1 Indian state, which are Bhutan in the east, Tibet in the north, and Nepal in the west, and West Bengal in the south. And do you know the highest peak, Kanchenjunga, 8,586 meter peak, is situated here? Sikkim is also the home to glaciers, alpine meadows, and 1,000 variety of wildflowers. Here, the official language includes Sikkimese, Lecha, Nepali, and English. The major religion here is Hindu and followed by Buddhism. Sikkim has got 4 districts and it is the largest carbon producer in India. I think you must be knowing former Indian professional footballer Bachin Bhutia, who is from Sikkim. And yes, he played as the striker in international arena and considered as the torchbearer of Indian footballer. So you came via Bagdogra airport, right? So which is in West Bengal. The airport is like 124 km from Gangtok. So you must have taken around 3.5 hours to reach here. And to Bagdogra airport, new flights lands from Kolkata, Chennai, Bombay, Delhi, Bombay, and which will help you in returning back to. So we do have our own airport, Pakyong Airport, which is presently closed due to the unpredictable and the fluctuating weather. So it is like 30 km from our capital Gangtok. So we do have helicopter services also available, so which connect Gangtok and Bagdogra. So our closest railway station includes Siliguri Junction, where from Siliguri to Gangtok by road it takes 115 km with a duration of around 3 hours 45 minutes. Another station is New Jalpaiguri, where it is around 110 km from NJP to Gangtok. By road it takes around 3 hours 30 minutes of journey. For road we connect like NH10, which links Siliguri to Gangtok. In addition, Sikkim National Transport runs buses, trucks. Besides private buses, tourist taxis and jeeps connects from Siliguri and Sikkim. And the major cuisine here are noodle-based dishes, and as snacks, momos are common here. As this time you staying in Lemon Tree Hotel, and next time when you are coming, you can plan in the month of October, since it's being the peak season and best time to visit, and can opt the hotels like Welcome, Club Mahindra, and also many budget hotels are available here too. So in Sikkim, the major 5 destinations you should visit, where the first and the foremost is the capital Gangtok. Like it is a scenic city with a scenic beauty, lush forest, and for adventure seekers of all the ages can go to the cable car ride, and other with mountain biking, river rafting, and several other activities. Next is our Yuksong. So it is located in the western part with untouched nature, and it is home to oldest monasteries in Sikkim. And it is origin of many treks like to Kanchenjunga. Next is Songo Lake, which is 38 km from Gangtok and lies at an altitude of 12,400 feet. It is one of the highest lake in India, and its surface reflects in different colors in different seasons, and it frozens in winter season fully. Next is Nathula Pass, Nathu Pass, which was once part of the historic Silk Road, and it is one of the highest motorable pass in the world, which is 4,310 meter above sea level, and which connects Sikkim and Tibet. Next is Godrul Chotan, the largest stupa in Sikkim, which is under the leadership of our Guru Rinpoche. Also, the best time to visit here is from October to June. So, major activities offered here are like yak ride. It is in Songpo Lake. So, which price range is around like 40 to 100 rupees. The gondola ride. It is in Gangtok, which is, as I said before, it's a cable car ride in the middle of the air, which can be chosen by all age peoples, and there is no age restrictions. And the price range is like 70 rupees to 110. And next is the hand gliding, and it is in the Yingtan, so which is perfect for the adventure seekers, and the price is like 2,500 onwards. Adventure seekers, and the price is like 2,500 onwards. Next is the Kanchenjunga trek. From Pelling, one can get the best view of the Kanchenjunga peak, and some of the other activities including skiing, snowboarding, kayaking, rafting, and several other activities. So hope your Northeast tour went off well, and I think you will be carrying a great lump of memories and happiness. And next time when you are expecting to come, bring you with your families too. And so wishing you to meet you soon. So happy journey. Bye.
Finally, our wanderlust soul has completed his journey and going back to Chennai.
Wow, what an experience. Where can I start? It's been an amazing experience in Northeast, one of the paradise of India. I started my journey into Assam, where I saw the UNESCO heritage site Kaziranga National Park. From there, I went to Meghalaya, Cherrapunji, world's highest rainfall region in the world. From there, I went to Tirupura, Agartala, the capital of Tirupura, the place of heritage palaces and historical temples. From Agartala, I went down to Mizoram, land of Mizos. From land of Mizos, I went to Manipur, where the beautiful and calm Loktak Lake is there. From Manipur, I went to Triple Falls, the area of Nagaland. From Triple Falls, I went to top of India, Arunachal Pradesh, where the world's second largest monastery is there, Tamang Monastery. From Arunachal Pradesh, I went to Sikkim, that's 8th and final state, Sikkim in Northeast. Sikkim, ending was, there's a proverb in English, if everything is good, if ending is good, then everything is good. In same way, Sikkim was amazing. I mean, got the place of glaciers, it's got Nathula Pass, Kanchenjunga Peak is the second highest peak in the world. From Sikkim, all my stress, everything went off. Took a flight back to Sikkim, Delhi, Chennai. Back home now, happy, very happy, no stress. I'm very happy now. All happened because of one particular agent. You know what then? They are who? Our own Stick Travels. Thank you, Stick team. Because of you, I am so happy now. See you soon.